This is quite astonishing. It's central banks. It's central banks that manipulate interest rates, Commissioner. And plus this, we talk loosely, in a rather cavalier fashion, do we not, about deposit guarantees. So when banks go broke through their own incompetence and chicanery, the taxpayer picks up the tab. It's theft from the taxpayer. And until we start sending bankers, and I include central bankers and politicians, to prison for this outrage, it will continue.
Well, if we're going to be negative for a long time, you better own equities, or you better own something other than debt. I mean, it's remarkable what's happened in the last 10 years. I've been wrong in thinking that you could really have the developments you've had without inflation taking hold. But we have 120 odd billion. Well, we have some almost very high percentage in Treasury bills, some in other, and some just in cash. But those Treasury bills are paying us virtually nothing. Now, they're a terrible investment over time, but they are the one thing that when opportunity arises, it will arise at a time, and maybe the only thing you can look to pay for those opportunities is the Treasury bills you have. I mean, the rest of the world may have stopped. And we also need them to be sure that we can pay the liabilities we have in terms of policyholders over time, and we take that very seriously. So if the world turns into a world where you can issue more and more money and have negative interest rates over time, I'd have to see it to believe it, but I've seen a little bit of it. I've been surprised, so I've been wrong so far. I do not think that, I don't see how you can create, I would say this, if you can have negative interest rates and pour out money and incur more and more debt relative to productive capacity, you'd think the world would have discovered it in the first couple thousand years rather than just coming on it now. But we will see. It's probably the most interesting question I've ever seen in economics. Can you keep doing what we're doing now? And we've been able to do it. The world's been able to do it for now a dozen years or so, but we may be facing a period where we're testing that hypothesis that you can continue it with a lot more force than we've tested it before.
I'd like to get rid of the Federal Reserve too. I would like to have money controlled by a computer. However, that's not what's happening, and I'm a realist. You're going to have a Federal Reserve System. And therefore, it's relevant to ask, given that there is a Federal Reserve System, even though it would be a better world if we could get rid of them, how should Federal Reserve operate?
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying Treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
That part away? A person who really understands the
what
fun of cars?
about an attack?
An attack? What kind of attack?
Like
you think about
you pull out your debit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, no one's debit card works.
Oh, yeah, right? What's going to stop that from happening? What do you do with no money?
Because there's only 3% that's real cash. That's real, like, palpable.
So if everybody wanted all the paper for all the money they have in the bank, we would never be able to do it.
If everybody's debit card stopped working, it would fucking...
How much cash is there out there, right?
I have no idea.
But how much cash is there out there now in comparison to like the 80s when there was only cash?
It's probably the same amount. It's probably the same amount.
But most people use credit cards now, right? Like way more.
Yeah, but think about if we had an enemy that wanted to
Yeah.
say,
No more
or
cash.
even our own government, that's just like all technology, monetary wise, is cut off.
Yeah, they just killed the system. They just stopped it all. No more banks. No more banking. No more ATMs.
What are you gonna do?
You don't have any money.
You
It's
don't
all-
have,
it's all
nobody has
locked
any
up.
money. You can't buy food. You can't buy anything. So you have to steal, and then
All your money
Everything.
is locked up.
Chairman Crapo, Ranking Member Brown, members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Peter Van Valkenburg, and I'm the Director of Research at Coin Center, an independent nonprofit focused on the public policy issues affecting cryptocurrency and public blockchain networks. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency, and it works because of the world's first public blockchain network. What does Bitcoin do? It's simple. It lets you send and receive value to and from anyone in the world using nothing more than a computer and an internet connection. Now, why is it revolutionary? Because unlike every other tool for sending money over the internet, it works without the need to trust a middleman. The lack of any corporation in between means that Bitcoin is the world's first public digital payments infrastructure. And by public, I simply mean
Okay. So, let's move this over. All right. Welcome, welcome. For those of you who are new to my stream, just know I do these streams every single Sunday. Sometimes in the middle, beginning, I'm try to do it in the beginning of the days, but yeah, I do them every single Sunday, and I essentially I have a topic that I normally talk about. But if anybody has any questions or anything like that, you can come on and ask me, basic, questions, or whatever you end up having. I find that there's not really a place a lot of people can go to ask a lot of these questions, and for me, I had to learn everything the hard way. I still, after being involved for 4 years plus, I don't know anyone who loves crypto, outside of what project should I invest in to make a bunch of money type of so it's difficult to get certain information and correct information and whatnot. So I try for this channel to be the best place for newer people to enter the space and kind of get that general questions out of the way. Now, here's a problem that I have with my channel as well. Let me turn my notifications down. A lot of channels do these videos, which I'm about to do right now, which are, top coins to this or that, and normally I just like talking about things that I like talking about, and that's pretty much what my videos are like. And if I don't like a project, or if I don't feel like doing a video of top projects every single month, or talking about a new project every single day, is just kind of rough. So I talk about projects that I like, and every single Sunday I talk really irresponsibly because I can't hit it. There's no edit button on this, right? And sometimes I say stuff I probably shouldn't say when it comes to how leveraged I am in certain positions, or how much I believe in certain projects that are high risk and stuff. So I'll do my best on the stream to be careful of what I say, but just understand here's what I would recommend, as somebody who doesn't know what the heck they're doing, right? If you end up liking a project that I talk about in this video, start Googling it and YouTubing it, and find people that don't like the project and see what they have to say about it. Because if you only hear the good, then it's easy to get sucked in. Because a lot of these projects have some negative, not necessarily negative, but reasons they might not succeed, right? There's a lot of these companies that are battling for helping with scalability and creating real decentralized products and whatnot, and so I feel like we're in the early days, right, of the internet type of deal, if you want to look at it that way. We haven't even launched AOL or Netscape yet. Is kind of where I think we're at. So with crypto, there hasn't been a project that has really made mass adoption take place, and the reason for that being, PayPal just launched Bitcoin, so there you go, right? But what I mean is, Bitcoin and Ethereum, a lot of these cryptocurrency projects have a problem with scalability, and that problem has not been solved yet. Ethereum has just hit their Ethereum 2.0, and their scalability will begin, and who knows when it will actually take place. But we could be looking in the next year or two, that scalability on a lot of these projects actually taking place, which means a lot of these projects that are kind of working but can't really scale yet can actually be mass adopted. So I think the next couple of years are going to be kind of crazy for Bitcoin, but who knows, and who knows how long it may take for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two big ones, but at any rate, we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff today, so just be careful with the projects I talk about. I think I posted almost all of them in my thumbnail as well, but yeah, anyways, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, all that jazz. Everything that YouTube gives me goes straight to charity, so, it's kind of cool, or whatever, I don't know. And then I'm also multi-streaming on Twitch and, oh, wait, is my, oh, okay. Man, my settings aren't working correctly on my Streamlabs, and it shows that there's no volume, but there is. Anyways, I'm also streaming on Twitch and Facebook as well, so looks like I have a couple viewers scattered across. Oh, all my windows closed. That's fun. So, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. But yeah, so first of all, if you're new, CoinGecko, I would save that in your bookmark. This is the main place that I go to this website every single day. It used to be a place called CoinMarketCap, but I don't like them as much. Hey, oh, what's up, Yellow? Holy moly. Dude, I freaking reblog everything that you post on Twitter every day. If you didn't post any videos, I wouldn't have anything to fleet about, I feel like. Anyways, so yeah, if you don't have CoinGecko saved, I would save it, and a lot of the projects are kind of cool, because you can do a lot of deep diving into projects and find similar projects and stuff. There's a lot of tools that CoinGecko has. I should probably do a whole video on all the cool tools that CoinGecko has when it comes to finding similar projects, but here's the deal. If anyone comes to me and asks me, and they're not interested in cryptocurrency at all, and they're just like, well, what should I invest in? They're asking me, how do I make millions quick? Right? That's what they're really asking. And so for those people, I just give the same two coins, and that's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, there's a big battle going on. There's like Bitcoin maximalists that think that, it's only Bitcoin, everything else is, who cares about. I don't necessarily believe that, but I do believe that most of these projects, there's 6,000 projects listed on CoinGecko. Most of these are crap. Probably 5,800 of them are junk, right? And maybe not that much, maybe 55, I don't know. But a lot of them are projects that come and go. And in fact, you only need to be listed on 2 separate exchanges in order to be listed on CoinGecko, I believe. It might be a little different than that. But yeah, and just to let you know, there's been like, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000, way more than this, projects built on only Ethereum alone. So, and that have crashed and burned. So just know there's a lot of scammy projects out there, and cryptocurrency is really easy to scam people. So So yeah, when people ask that question, it's like, dude, there needs to be a really long conversation to be had if you're investing in a lot of these projects that I'm actually going to be talking about in this video. So, Bitcoin is the safest. Ethereum would be the second safest. And this would be a put your money in and never think about it again. I mean, you're not day trading here. I don't really like day trading or trying to, time the markets or anything like that. I'm more of a find a project that I really like, that I think long term is going to do really well, and long term hold, and so we'll see. But a lot of people trip out about Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're like, well, we want the next Ethereum or the next Bitcoin, right? Even if Bitcoin reaches, for example, gold's market cap, that's what everyone talks about Bitcoin being like gold. Well, gold is a $9 trillion market cap, and this is only a $358 billion market cap. So if you were to take 9 trillion, trillion, and divide that by 358,558,319,762, that's still a 25x profit. Now, a lot of people aren't patient. I don't know if it's going to be in this next, bull run the next year or two, or if it's going to be by 2030 or 20, I don't know. But I do think that Bitcoin's going to lead the market when it comes to, when Bitcoin pumps, nothing else is going to crazy, Ethereum is not going to, 20x, 30x with Bitcoin not doing it. Normally what happens is Bitcoin 10x's, 20x's, and then these lower market cap coins can do their 20, 30, 40, 50x, because there's just a lot more market cap to deal with. So like, for example, Bitcoin's at a $358 billion market cap. You just go 5 down, we're at Litecoin, and this is a 5 billion. So like, there's a huge gap. So when Bitcoin pumps up like 10 or 20, it'd be easier for a Litecoin or a Chainlink or something like that to pump up 30, 40. And so a lot of people use altcoins as a way to gain more Bitcoin, and I might be in that boat as well. Although I do like a lot of these projects and what they're doing, but I want that Bitcoin number to go up. That's my so far my end goal, right? I do think Bitcoin's going to reign king, and who knows, maybe in a couple of years something will come around. I don't think there's anything that comes close to Bitcoin, and there's a long conversation to be had about, people say, ooh, the next Bitcoin. Well, there's a long conversation to be had about how that would even take place, because Bitcoin went through a history of the government not really knowing about it, and it got so big that people started freaking out about it, and countries started trying to shut it down unsuccessfully, and then they started coming out with their own cryptocurrency, right? And so if there was something better that came out, there's just way more eyes on the space, and Bitcoin has tested the people shutting it down, people trying to hijack the network, people trying to hack it and whatnot. So, but yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's just exit out of each one of these. And the reason why Ethereum, by the way, is I don't know, 80-90% of all the cryptocurrencies out there are building off of Ethereum, and Ethereum is about to have the ability to, currently Ethereum can do like 15, 25, I'm not sure exactly how much, it's a low though. How many transactions, oh there we go, I like that. 30 transactions per second, so it's not much. And Ethereum 2.0 will take that 30 transactions per second upwards of 100,000 plus. Now, Ethereum is going to need to do way more than that, because Visa alone does 14, 20,000 transactions. They say they can do like 60 to 80,000, I think is the highest number I've seen, but the network isn't that congested. So just Visa alone, all the swiping of credit cards is that much. Well, there's a couple thousand companies that are on multiple exchanges being traded on with tons of users on them being used under Ethereum. So eventually there's going to be a and that number will need to increase. But Ethereum is currently king when it comes to applications being able to be built on crypto. And so there's actually a token I'm about to talk about called Luxo. The guy who created Luxo, he actually other successful projects can flourish. Put the next, oops. Oh, it's my fold. Got to do my daily spin. Bitcoin, as Andrea says. What projects do you like, sir? All my projects are on my thumbnail. I kind of cheat and give all my stuff away on that. But yeah. So yeah, outside of that, when it comes to privacy coins, I really like Monero. Now, Monero, if you're in the United States, you can't buy it on Binance because it's a privacy coin, right? But you can buy it on like Kraken and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, again, since this is a new channel, I always get people getting mad at me. I have a problem with not giving my opinion. I'm gonna try to be better at that from now on. But also, people don't understand where to buy these. So CoinGecko, type in the project I'm talking about. You can type it in by the ticker or by the company name. And then I just go to markets, and then it tells you all the exchanges that you know, that you can buy it from. So you know, in the United States, KuCoin, you know, and Kraken might be the two. I don't know. It's hard to know the exchanges now. They don't list them as easily as they used to. Used to be able to kind of tell what the best were when it came to volume, but it's not necessarily the case anymore. Anyways, so Monero is a privacy coin. You know, I don't, really deal with privacy transactions myself, but it's nice to be able to do transactions privately. And eventually, when you actually do transactions, like I don't want people knowing I'm going to like buy a candy bar or whatever. When I buy junk food, I legit sometimes like buy it with cash because I'll feel bad to like see a bunch of junk food on my credit card even. So I don't even want to see it myself, right? So it doesn't have to just do with like criminal activity like a lot of people say. But privacy transactions are important. A lot of people like Dash. There's a couple other companies that might, I don't know. But I like, Monero. The government, by the way, is also targeting Monero. They're trying to get people to hack Monero and be able to see those transactions. And a guy said that he might be able to break it, and we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, and then Cardano. So here's the deal with Cardano. I might be blind with this one. I've been holding for a while, and I made a bunch of money back in the day with it. And so one of the co-creators, although a lot of people say that Charles who created Cardano, isn't really a good coder. He's just was good at marketing. He just made a project so he could make a bunch of money. A lot of people, that's like the argument I hear. I don't necessarily, who cares if what if you're good at just finding a bunch of people who know how to build your product, right? I don't know. So, and geez, when it comes to how it's built as well, it's built completely different than Ethereum as well when it comes to how they batch transactions and whatnot. So, but it's a little bit behind Ethereum. So, who knows? But I do have a small bag of this that I've just held for a long time. But actually, most of this I've actually sold for other cryptos because, again, this made me a bunch of money back in the day, and whatever. By the way, I'm not listing these projects from top to bottom. I just was like, I actually was going through the market cap, and I was like, I like that project, I like that project, and then I started finding projects that I actually liked that weren't in the top. So, yeah, I'm not listing these from most invested to not, because I'm actually very little invested in Cardano currently. Chainlink, I'm pretty heavily invested in. I actually have some I'm staking. I'm getting rewards off of. So. I think it's like 8%, 12. Geez, I can't remember anymore. Anyways, I'm staking this for rewards. I'm going to hold this for a long time. And I'm mentioning a bunch of obvious ones right now, but Chainlink is an oracle. Essentially, and by the way, when I was talking about some of the cool things that you can do with the tools, down here, if you're like, I wonder what other companies are doing oracle platforms or decentralized or in the DeFi space or DOT, right? Geez, a lot of people made a lot of money with DOT this year. So you can be like, who's competing with Chainlink? And so you can go to oracles and it'll tell you like Chainlink's the top, UMA, Band. So as you're doing research, a lot of people are like, who are these freaking bottom dwellers here? Like, how easy is it for a $3 million company to go up to 6 million than it would be a $417 million company to go up to 800? That's a lot of people's greedy thinking, by the way, but it doesn't mean any of these companies are going to do it, right? So a lot of the popular ones have been Zap and Dia, Teller, Nest, Augur, Band, UMA, right? And some of them have done well, but they did well right in the beginning, and they dipped a little bit, and they still haven't hit their all-time highs. So I don't know. My favorite's Chainlink. I keep saying that. I just realized after someone commented, I keep saying, I don't know. But yeah, so this is one of my heaviest bags. My heaviest is Bitcoin. Second is Ethereum. Third is Chainlink. So yeah, Stellar. It's not one of my biggest, but Stellar is a it's so the guy who created XRP. I do hold some XRP. Well, actually, no. I think I sold it all right after the snapshot. I don't think I hold it any right now. But I threw money in just for the snapshot. In case you guys don't know, there was a fork of XRP, and so you were able to get a bunch of flare tokens if you were holding XRP at a certain date. So I threw some in just for the snapshot, and I think I took it all out right when I could, just because I knew it was going to drop, and it did. I don't even know what it's at right now, but anyways, a lot of people don't like XRP, and there's a lot of reasons. It's not decentralized whatsoever, even though they claim it is. It's like weird that they can make these claims. The people that created XRP, they dump like 1 billion XRP every month, or I'm not sure the consistency of it. But they constantly are selling their tokens and dumping on their followers. So it's hard for that price. The price of XRP has been at like 20 cents forever. And I actually got a bunch when it was like at 18 cents because I was like, and then I just dumped them whenever, the snapshot. You guys will help create XRP. But yeah, it might be in my top 5. The creator of here, let me just exit each one of these out. Boom, 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 boom. So the creator of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin is the creator of Ethereum. Well, there's a bunch of people that created it, but he's kind of the head of the company. But a bunch of other people broke off and started creating different companies with different visions, not like to replace Ethereum or to kill it or whatever. That's what Charles Hodgkins and Vincent did with Cardano. Haji boy. Jeez, I always say his last name wrong, so whatever. Hodgkinson. I can't even say it without memeing myself. Anyways, Polkadot, a guy by the name of Gavin Wood, ended up leaving and creating Polkadot, and essentially Polkadot will help with cross-chain scalability, and it'll help with cross-chain applications as well. Eventually, every company will need to work with one another. Like, how dumb would it be if, like, I was with, I wouldn't be able to, send me, like, I had your something like that, which you would have a problem if everybody in the world, worked that way. But everyone, geez, I'm not giving a good example of this at all. But Polkadot helps with companies working cross-chain essentially, and helps with scalability as well. So XRP can work with, I don't know why I said XRP, which by the way you can't even do with XRP. They don't have a bridge for anything. So XRP is its own lone little centralized deal, right? But like where Ethereum can talk with I don't know, Ocean Protocol, and Ocean Protocol can talk with Chainlink, and Chainlink can talk with Unibright, and I don't know. So it just allows, companies to work better with one another, and helps with scalability, and it helps with a bunch of other stuff too, but those are kind of the two main bullet points. So, and the fact that it's a $5 billion market cap. A lot of people, by the way, say Ethereum killer. If people say that Polkadot is an Ethereum killer, they're not talking about the technology being better and replacing it. What they're talking about is market cap, I realized. Because I kept seeing these like titles of videos and stuff, and I'm like, how is it? Like, I don't understand what they're talking about. How could it kill Ethereum? And then I realized they're talking about market cap. So yeah, it's a $4 billion market cap, which is crazy undervalued, I believe. Especially considering, I think it is up there with Ethereum when it comes to market cap. It will be eventually. I think it will be the third ranking eventually. So yeah, I have a big holding in Polkadot. That being said, I have an even larger holding in Kusama. And the reason why I moved that over, and I'm talking about this first, you don't see my tabs. The reason why I have Kusama is a pretty big holding of mine as well. And the reason why is it's now people call it the test net of Polkadot, and that's not necessarily true, but it kind of is. Kind of like how Litecoin is kind of like a test net of Bitcoin, in the sense that if something works really well with Litecoin, it's probably going to work pretty well with Bitcoin, because their code is very, very similar. And so it's the same thing with Polkadot and Kusama. So normally it's like if Polkadot goes up, oh look, okay, so if Polkadot goes up 5%, oh look, exactly what I was about to say. That's funny. This is normally what happens. Polkadot goes up a little bit, Kusama goes up. Normally it's not twice as much. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's less. But yeah, I had posted for like 8 months this year, until I did an interview with Crypto Daily, my trades. But I was talking about this coin at like $8 or something like that, or $12 is when I posted. I bought it, I don't even know, it was so long ago, so low. And a lot of these Polkadot projects, I got lucky, I feel like, and I got on the Polkadot train like 6 months before most people did. And so yeah, Kusama is not really a test net, but it's the same code as Polkadot. So normally if Kusama normally people start on Kusama, and if they do really well with Kusama, then normally it's like it could be like a precursor of them working really well with Polkadot. So yeah, one of my big holdings as well is Kusama, and they're only at a $500 million market cap as well. So yeah. Yeah, it was like $5 when I bought it. Jeez. Now, when I bought it, by the way, a lot of people, when they hear these games, let me just precursor this as well, since people are new. I haven't done the interview yet, but there's a guy who 28x'd his entire portfolio, all by trading what they call shit coins, which is like every coin that's not Bitcoin, essentially, is what kind of people call them. But I didn't put in 10 grand, right? It was a freaking risk. It was a gamble. It was a crazy low market cap of a project. Like, it was a break off of a project that was a break off of a project, and they were testing this to gain something else. And it was like all new, and no one was talking about it. Couldn't find any videos or whatever. So, those high risk projects, I get nervous and I only throw in a couple hundred, right? And it's just like, and then you look back on your portfolio. By the way, if you're new to trading as well, I don't hardly remember any of my good trades. I only remember losing money. I feel like all I've done is lost money for the last 4 years. But if I look at how much money I put in and how much money I have now, that's not the case at all. But, be prepared to have like real emotional roller coasters if you're going into crypto, right? So yeah, Kusama is a pretty big holder of mine as well. Let's see. Unibright, there's a lot of partnerships and a lot of I wonder if they I should have pulled up a couple of tabs on each one of these as well. Anyways, there's a lot of partnerships going on with Unibright, you know, with like Coca-Cola and this was one of those projects early on that pumped hella. In fact, if you looked, yeah, back at 1 penny, right? So went from 1 penny to 48x this year. Jeez, and it recently crashed quite a bit from 63 to 48. But this is, by the way, all the projects I'm talking about as well. I'm going to be holding them on. I'm holding them probably all of next year, unless something happens. I'm always checking on news, so if something happens, I may pull out of projects or something. If, for example, there's a project I'm going to talk to about called F-Force that is an energy efficiency, that competes with. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't done a deep dive yet, but kind of competes with Energy Web Token, which I'm invested in as well. And so Steve Wozniak's dedication to this company, and with everything, who knows? Opinions can be changed, right? But yeah. And then Darwinia Network, they're going to be possibly a bridge to Polkadot. Possibly a bridge to, they're creating a bridge to Ethereum. In fact, if you go to their website, I think they actually have listed on their main page. Yeah, so they're going to be working with all the big cryptocurrencies eventually to be able to connect them together. I keep hearing ticking right next to me. What do you think about the I do not know about that, actually. I'll have to look that up. Interesting, though. XDAI, I'm not doing a very good job explaining these projects, am I? I'm trying to get this done in a timely manner. XDAI is interesting. So XDAI currently, in my mind, has the best way for Ethereum to scale currently. However, there's a couple of companies, and I thought OMG was a contender for a while, and then no one's using OMG. But there's a couple of contenders that might that might end up being better. But as of right now, in the short term, XDAI I feel like is it. And it's crazy that it's at a $37 million market cap. I would expect this to be at a few $100 million market cap, a $300-400 million. That's what I thought. I mean, I don't know. And and when I try to find people to talk trash on this, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Why is this a $37 million market cap when there's a lot of companies that compete with it that don't have a working product and aren't currently, a good use for scalability in a lot of these other situations as XDAI. But I don't know. I can't find an answer. So I don't know why it's at a $37 million market cap. I feel like with all the other projects it's competing with, it should at least be 5 times that, on the low end. And, I don't know. So everyone that uses XDAI says they love it. It's really easy. Yeah, I have a healthy bag of this, I guess, and we'll see what happens. Sora, this is a project oh my gosh, it's 128. This is one of those painful ones, because I had a couple 100 of these at one point, and then I got hacked over a stupid thing. I was trying to make a video that only got a couple 100 views, and in doing so I risked my private keys and did something dumb, and I was hell. Anyways, I know what I did now, and I won't do it again. Whatever. But this is this is kind of painful. One of those I kind of wish the project would fail just because I made something. Anyways, but Sora is essentially going to be the marketplace for Polkadot, and so I did make a video talking about what they were on my channel. In fact, it's oh wait, right here. So a few months back, but yeah, it's essentially going to be the marketplace for Polkadot possibly. So you could trade every single coin, cross chain. So one of the projects I really like is Uniswap, which is another project that I hold. But to be fair, I got 400 coins for free. and well, actually I got a little more than that because I had I didn't just have one wallet, but I sold most of them. But I have 400 just chilling out, but I'm gonna hold them through next year. Uniswap is interesting because they were the first ones to essentially allow every single Ethereum coin to be listed and exchanged. So if you don't use Uniswap, if you look at, I mean, I don't know, there's no list, but if you were to take a list of every single crypto person out there who made the most money this year, I bet you the top 100 all made it from Uniswap. So Uniswap is the ability. So, and the reason why is because someone could list a project on Uniswap. Now they can list a scam project as well. It's very high risk, but someone could list a project on there at $0, no market cap, and I put in like $50. And then all of a sudden that zero market cap, pumps up to, 10 million, and all of a sudden I'm making, I mean, depends on when you bought in or whatever, but it gives you the ability to get on the ground floor, no ICO nonsense. So there's no pre-sales that go on, and sometimes there are, but Uniswap just has the ability for a more open marketplace to take place. And so all of my gains have been through Uniswap as well. None of my gains, 0 of them, have been through any other exchange except for Uniswap. Well, that's not true. I actually held a ton of Link through, that I just held in a wallet, right? That was sitting there, but no other like coin that was on that I've held that you can buy on like Binance.com. By the way, don't hold your coins on exchanges. Right? You're gonna need to hold them into wallets. I have a video on my YouTube channel that talks about wallets, but yeah. But yeah, all the coins that I made a bunch of money on, you can't get on any of the major exchanges. So, yeah, I'm real excited about, and they're going to be doing a lot in the future when it comes to scalability as well. They're going to help scale as well as Ethereum is going to scale. And so hopefully, the problem with Uniswap now is when there's a lot of people using it. I personally have had transactions over like $130. I want to buy $10 worth of any coin. It costed me $130 at the time, and I've seen transactions in the 500s, right? And very often it was like $20 to $50. Very often for a few months it was that way, and it was because everyone was using Ethereum. Ethereum couldn't scale, so the transactions were higher, and I actually made a video talking about how all that works. By the way, I won't get into that, but yeah, I'm excited about Uniswap. Robonomics is actually a coin I got from Chico Crypto. He promoted it on one of his videos, and I kind of adopted it and liked it. Oh, it's actually nice at 21. I didn't actually get into it until it was like $14, but it dipped at like 8 at one point, I think, or where did it dip? Yeah, the lowest was like 4, I guess. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's gone through some crazy runs. Anyways, so Robonomics is anything like IoT type of robotics communication type of stuff, and it's not necessarily what you think. It's just machines talking from one to another type of stuff, which is happening more and more and more with self-automated stuff, right? And so XRT is to help with that. Now, XRT is possibly going to be one of the bridges to Polkadot, and if that happens, then I'm assuming that $16 million market cap will pump up. But yeah, by the way, every coin I'm pretty much talking about now is really low market cap. So what that means is very high risk gamble, right? So this is a $16 million market cap as opposed to like Polkadot, right, which is a $4.5 billion market cap. So I don't have a healthy bag of this, but a high-risk gambler might, right? And they're the people that might make millions really quick. I saw a guy who put in $5,500. I actually tweeted about it. It was like $5,800, $5,200, and currently he's sitting at like $1.3 million after 20 some odd days. So there's people that they'll 3 or 4x a coin and put all the profits into like high risk coins, and they're like, oh, if I lose it, whatever. But if but it's really risky, so just be careful. And it's really easy, by the way, to like make a 10 or 20x and then be like, dang, dude, I'm gonna put 10 grand now. I'm gonna put 5 grand into this, and then all of a sudden that 5-10 grand turns into 2 grand or whatever. Anyways, so Energy Web Token. Actually, I'm gonna talk about this at the end. Chain X. Chain X is actually going to help with the as well with the cross-chain and companies being able to work well with one another, and so they're the ones who are actually building the technology for those bridges that are happening, and so it's currently sitting 23 million. I think it was like 3x this at one point. But again, this is one that pumped crazy high and then kind of flatlined, right? Dang, it would have sucked to have bought that coin up here, up at $6, $7, $8, 4 or 5. Geez, a lot of these people right here bought the dip and then didn't sell probably. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, I freaking got this back in. I thought it was at like $1.50 or something, but maybe not. Oh, maybe I bought it at the peak right here. Anyways, that's funny though. What if I would have sold all the way through there, right? Jeez. But again, if you're a day trader, right, you probably could have sold. I mean, okay. So by the way, also if you're doing this, you should have buy and sell orders. And if you don't know what buy and sell orders are, you should learn about them. Because when you're trading cryptocurrencies and stuff, you need to be like, hey, if this drops more than like 5% instantly, like we should probably sell it, or depending on what I just arbitrarily chose that number, but it depends on what the project is, right? Ocean Protocol. I am really excited about Ocean Protocol. And I think this is one of the ones. This one I beginning of the year as well, February, March, something like that. I think that is when I got into this project, but I think this is one of the ones that I feel like is a lot of companies are hopping on board with it. There's a lot of tests that have been going on with it that have been successful. So they deal with data, essentially. They are able to just aggregate data. And so we all know how big data is, right? The biggest companies in the world, right, are data companies, right? Technology companies, right? Ocean Protocol seems to be one of the big players in that, and so yeah, real excited. We'll see. Yearn Finance. So this is an interesting project. It's at 26,000, yeah, way over Bitcoin, right? But they have a max supply of only 30,000 tokens. That's why. And Bitcoin has a max supply of 21 million tokens. So there's only 30,000 tokens that are out there. So that's why it's so much money. And you don't have to spend 26,000, by the way. You can put $50 in it or whatever. This is one of those. I actually bought at the high, and I think it was like at 20 grand at the time. I don't know when I bought it. It wasn't over 30. Maybe it was at 15. I don't know. Oh, I think I may have bought it right after it dipped. I'm really, really bad at timing the markets, but yeah, Yearn Finance just provides a bunch of decentralized tools, and it's a guy who's just really open. It's just some random dude. Here's what's crazy about this. This is just some random dude. This is what's crazy about a lot of projects. Just some like random dudes that create these tools, and all of a sudden it gets like mass adopted, right? And who knew that this project would have killed it? Would have gone from $0 to 26,000, right? When they launched it, by the way, it wasn't even launched as a. It may have launched as a couple $100. I don't think it did though, even. But he didn't launch it even as a token. The guy essentially wanted. There's a bunch of DeFi products out there, decentralized finance products out there that allowed. Okay, so geez, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this. So I'm just gonna try to break it down as easy as I can. But let's say there's a decentralized marketplace, right? That currently, if you want to trade stock, you have to trade it with the company, and the company has a ton of that stock in their pile, right? And so that way, like if you want to buy and sell, you don't have to wait for somebody to sell their stock in order for you to be able to buy it. The company has a bunch that they hold, and so you can have your buy and sell orders go through at the price that it's showing. Well, decentralized finance, well, how does that work if it's decentralized? Somebody needs to I need to be like, hey, I'm a multi-millionaire. I can give like 500 grand into this project as liquidity. So if you want to trade that token, I'll have a bunch of tokens just sitting there that you can trade with. And for having my money just sit there, I'm going to take a little bit of money as reward, right? So that's a product that decentralized finance has. Well, what if I want to find the best? What if there's like a bunch of people also providing that same product, and I want to find the best interest rate that I can trade with? Like you're charging way too much money, right? So Yearn Finance essentially allowed these DeFi tools to work better for the user, because now users were able to find lower interest rates, and it was easier to find, and that made the market, a little less crazy when it came to ripping people off. So they have a bunch of different tools that you can end up getting, using with them, insurance and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, and they're already close to $1 billion market cap, so they're already a pretty big player. I don't have much into this, but but I do hold some. Luxo, I got into this at like 60 cents or something, and then it went up to like $1 something. I got real excited about it, and I put a bunch in at like $1 something, which brought my average up to like 90 something cents, 93 cents I think I'm at right now, or I don't know. But at any rate, so the reason why I'm excited about Luxo is, first of all, the market cap's kind of unknown. I think it's sitting at about 90-ish million. Although if you go to like coinmarketcap.com and you type in, I hate this site now so much. Oh my gosh, shut up! I don't care. Really, I can't even access this. Sorry, I'm just over-exaggerating. Oh, I'm clicking too fast. This website was bought by Binance, and then all of a sudden, all the best companies and projects were all Binance's. And so this is just a dumb website that gives you misinformation now. And I'm overly LYXE. I'm overly upset about it, apparently. So they show you a $3.2 million market cap, which is kind of misleading, and this is another reason why I kind of like CoinGecko better, is because they're in the middle of an ICO right now, and so the ICO, technically I can put money into this project, but it doesn't launch until February, so I can take that money back at any time. And so since I could take that money back at any time, technically it's not part of the market cap because it's not part of the official ICO, because they're doing a pre-ICO, which is a new version of an ICO that's never existed before, by the way. They invented it. So the guy behind Luxo is actually the guy who created the ERC20 token. So Fabian Vogesteller, that's his name, So he and his wife actually created this project, and this project is essentially it's going to be it's kind of like an Ethereum, but specifically for NFTs. So if you don't know what NFTs are, they are like digital assets. And if you're young, you know what a digital asset is, right? If you play Fortnite, right, with their V-Bucks, or what are they called? Whatever I can't remember what their currency is called. But everyone knows what their currency is, and and they understand, like, oh, like in skin games, if I want to buy a skin in game, it doesn't cost $20. I have to spend $20 to get a bunch of gold coins, and then I spend those gold coins to buy the skin or whatever, right? Or I spend the gold coins to get my medallions, and then or whatever, right? I don't even know what I'm, if you game, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of older people don't understand the digital assets ownership, right? But like if you buy a Fortnite skin, that's your skin, right? Well, what if you can like trade that skin, right? That you spend a bunch of money on the open market, right? And that's what Luxo is. And that way you don't have to spend a bunch of money buying their skin on the video game, right? And so eventually video game industry is going to be leaning that way. But it'll also mean that there'll be less skins being given out and things will be more rare. And I think that I'm really excited for that like crazy environment. But they're kind of creating like a ecosystem where all sorts of NFT projects can come and build off of them. And so the creator of the ERC20 token of Ethereum, who pretty much, this guy is the one responsible for the ICO craze in 2017 for all the companies hopping on board and the pump up of volume, and pretty much he's the one who's behind this project. So yeah, I have a pretty healthy bag of this as well. But yeah. Oh, and I didn't actually mean to put this in. I was just researching it. This is a decentralized exchange, a DEX, that's what they call them. That's going to work with Polkadot as well. Yeah. I misunderstood what this project was when it got launched. And only recently I've started getting into it. But all right, now I want to talk about Energy Web Token and the last two tokens, I guess. So EWT, or Energy Web Token, this is a project that so what they're trying to do, and I'm trying to figure out the difference of Energy Web. The differences, there are differences between this company and the Steve Wozniak company I'm about to talk about, but they're essentially just trying to make things more efficient when it comes to energy misusage, right? There's just a lot of energy just being misused in all sorts of places, and they're trying to help manage energy better, right? And create tools to help with that. So I actually got in at a pretty decent price, which was about this price actually. So it's actually gone down. It was at $8 for quite some time. Yeah, it was at $8 pretty much for all last month or whatever. But yeah, I think I got in around this price, right? It was around my birthday, whatever, sometime in here. It was around $6. But right, I could have doubled my money and sold, right? So you know what scares me is I keep seeing, well, anyways, that's another video for another day. So I actually do have a healthy bag of this. I do not have anything of Wozniak's coin, however, I might. I'm pretty sure I am, actually. And here's the deal. You can't buy these on any American exchanges, right? You can't. These aren't. If you live in the United States, you can't use these. However, it is available on Uniswap. So you can buy this on Uniswap. Now, if you don't know how to use Uniswap, I made a video that cost me this is the video I got hacked on. It cost me like thousands of dollars, many more than that actually. I feel even embarrassed to even say the number. It was a lot of money, you guys. Freaking A. Okay, don't ever create your keys on your computer anymore, okay? I was creating my own keys on my computer. I transferred money into those keys to make an exchange on Uniswap, and within 24 hours, I got the monies taken from me. The monies. I know I can speak correctly. Anyways, so I create all my keys on a phone. Every time like every time someone sets up a brand new laptop or phone, I'm like, wait, and I legit have done that like 3 times. I'll create a couple of wallets. I'm like, wait, I just need to create a couple of new wallets. I'm like freaking out. I just want to move some money to it just in case my last wallet was compromised. Anyways, but so this project is by Steve Wozniak, and essentially here's kind of the breakdown of this. Steve Wozniak's been involved, and I've seen many videos and pictures and stuff of him actually working with the company and not like just being a pretty face. And obviously they took his name for the ticker, right? But F-Force, and I think this was a company, and then Steve actually came on board and became a partner with it, or a co-owner or something like that. And they always talk. I saw this article that was like, the Steve Wozniak coin went up like 1,800% or something like that, and I was like, what? I was like, no, it didn't. And then I looked and I was like, oh yeah, if you got in the pre-sale, but it only went up a 2x, right, 200%, and if you were able to buy it on these exchanges, and then when it got listed up here, it got pushed up to this price right here that you see. So I believe it's been floating at this price for a while. I always want to check to see how right I am. Yeah. So yeah, it has been. Essentially, here's the breakdown of what he's trying to do. There's a lot of, again, I'm pretty much saying the same thing as Energy Web Token. There's a lot of power being misused, energy not being used efficiently. And so what their company is saying is so Steve Wozniak says, hey, at Apple, we were all about taking what everyone did and made it just more efficient, and made things cost a little bit less, and we're able to do more with less. And he says that's what he wants to do with power. There's just a lot of misusage in power, and we're not going. The population keeps increasing year over year, and we're going to need to somehow keep building more power plants, more whatever. But if we can minimize our energy output, then that'll help. So for example, so eForce, they're saying is like, hey, if your company bill, like, okay, if you go to Walmart, I bet you their power bill is like, I would say $60,000 on the low end, maybe up to like $150,000 on the high end. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it might be a little more. I guarantee it's not lower though. It's a lot of money to run that building, right? But what if you were able to put some things in place that could take that? Let's say it was $60,000. Take that $60,000 and cut it down to 30, and that's the example they said is they can cut efficiency down to 50% in a lot of cases. And then they'll say that 30,000. What they'll do is they will use a portion of that, say 20,000 of it, and they'll give it to the coin users. And so all the energy they save, they'll take a big chunk of that saved energy and they'll give it to the coin holders. And then the rest will be used for savings. So the company will actually use the eForce, it's called F-Force. Is how it's pronounced. I keep mispronouncing it. F-Force. It sounds like E-Force. I want to say E-Force kind of, but it's F-Force. I guess it makes sense. F-Force. F-Force. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, he has a little video where he talks about it on here. I'll let you watch that on your own. But yeah, so that's all of the projects. I'll kind of go over them. I closed out of a ton of them, that's right. The ones I'm kind of really excited about, though, is Bitcoin, Ethereum are my two big ones. And I know I should probably, if I was a high-risk gambler, I should probably throw a lot more money in these lower-cap coins because they'll have a lot more room to pump eventually. But I think Bitcoin kind of is a leader with that pump, so once Bitcoin pumps, I might take some of that money out and put it in some of my favorite altcoins, once it pumps up a lot or something like that. But yeah, Ethereum and Bitcoin are my two biggest holdings. My third largest is Chainlink. Fourth largest is Kusama. Wait, is it? I think it is. And then Polkadot is my next. I think I have more Kusama than Polkadot. I'm my high risk gamble is with Kusama when it comes to the amount of money I put in. And then when it comes to the lowest market cap coin, my next two, when it comes to the money put in and the gamble risk ratio of it getting really high or whatever, is Ocean Protocol at 161 million market cap, and oh shoot, did I not? Oh, and there it is, Luxo. And I think in February, that's when the price of this token is going to pop. So this, if I did a best coins of Q1 of 2021, this would be in it. Or if best coin of February, this would be in it, right? So, at any rate, yeah. And, you know, I actually, Twitter, I took it off my post, my pin, just because, oops. Where's my bookmarks? I bookmark a lot of stupid stuff. Well, I guess it's a little more further down, I thought. I posted it in like August or something. Ah, crap. Anyways, I have a post that I had pinned. I just replaced it, and I was going to put it back up. So you'll see it pinned back up there eventually. But well, and then you can bookmark it yourself. But anytime I do a trade, a big trade, or I'm entering a new project, I'm going to post it in this post. Dang, I really want to find it now. Wait, it's right here. Oh, it's right here. So these aren't even when I got into the projects. These were just when I posted them on Twitter. I got into XOR at $8, I think, and that was after it was pumping up, or maybe it was like $12 because it was pumping up. Anyways, Energy Web, I think it was 6, right? I can't remember Ocean. I think it was like 14, but right. I think Energy Web right now is a little bit lower, right? It's at $6 right now. XOR. Currently, that's at $126 right now. Ocean right now, it's at 46, and these are all from dropped prices too. Kusama, right, is at 51. Edge, you know, Edge is one of the ones I took my money out of Edge though, but I actually do like the project a lot. 0.007. Oh snap. And then ChainX 225. I can't remember when I got into it. I think it's around that price right now, but yeah, you know, Luxo, I ended up posting at $1. And then I think this is when I started posting what I actually got them in at, right? Ring was at $6 or 6 cents, so it actually dropped a little bit. Stake was at $11. It's at like 10. It's almost at $11 right now, so it's a little bit under. SXP, I got in a way lower. So this was one of those I bought the news right when freaking Binance bought them. Is when I put money into it. But I still think even at 270, I think it's even lower than that now. I think it's at like a 2 something right now. Let's see. Let's look it up. SXP. Anyways, I'll always put my trades in there and what I'm buying. Oh my gosh, 85 cents. Oh my gosh, that's pretty low. Oh my gosh, it's almost when Binance bought them. That's crazy. So that's really crazy because, geez, and luckily I wouldn't say luckily, but I got out of this a little bit higher because I put them into 2 projects and one of those projects got hacked. So I wouldn't say luckily on that. but I actually still have a little bag in this. But this is right when they put them into right when Binance bought them. But they still own them, and it's a $65 million market cap. And here's the argument with this. And I always hold little bags. I never completely exit, and so I don't know what I have in this. When I left it, it was only a couple $100, so I'm sure that is now like $100 or something now. But this company is competing with Crypto.com. So Crow, where the Crow are you? This company. So this is a $1.3 billion market cap company. And Swipe is competing with it as 65, and Swipe is Binance, and Crypto.com is Crypto.com. So Crypto.com is an up-and-coming, exchange and stuff, but Binance is the largest currently. Well, it's second largest in the United States, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. So, but yeah, Dot, what's Dot at? It's around that same price, 4.94. PRQ got hacked. That was a mess. I'm not sure about that company anymore. They centralized the crap out of their coin because an exchange got hacked and they had a bunch of their tokens on it and manipulated the price. And I don't know, when companies do funky stuff like that to like save their own necks, it kind of bothers. I don't know. I guess it saved the users as well. I just didn't like how they did it. Yeah, YFL is a gamble, and this is connected with Chainlink, so it's kind of, yeah. But anyways, if you want to look at that, just know if there's ever a new project I'm about to put money into or whatever, I'll post it in this thread. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. 152. It's been, my streams are always a little bit over an hour. So yeah, dang it, there's something I wanted to say before I ended. Oh yeah. So I am about to post a review on a company called Rebuzz. It's a social media, rebuzz.io. It's a social media that I've just been using. I'm not saying buy the token, and in fact, I would say don't buy the token. It's been going down, but it's a way for you to use social media and earn free tokens, and then you can sell it and then trade that token for Bitcoin. Right? It's a way to earn free Bitcoin. Is kind of the way I look at it. But I'm doing a review on it and kind of what the app is and who's behind it and stuff like that. They have a couple projects, Chain Games. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Just recently launched as well. They're behind that, but yeah, that should launch. I'm trying to get an interview set up with the CEO, and he's just been really busy, which I understand. He's running a bunch of companies, so if we can get that figured out, then then it might be like 3 or 4 days before the video is launched. But if I can't end up figuring out that interview schedule, whatever, then it'll be out in just a day or two. So look out for that one. And then also I'm doing a video on the Silk Road. So if you're interested in if you don't know what the Silk Road is, it's a $1.2 billion underground dark web drug marketplace that got taken down, and a guy got put in jail for a couple life sentences because of it. And there was murder for hires and all this shady stuff that went down. It helped launch Bitcoin as well, helped fuel Bitcoin's success as well. That's actually how I heard about it, was through Bitcoin. But anyways, I'm now probably over 1,000 pages deep and just reading court stuff, and I've watched close to 200. I think I'm over 200 videos now of every single news article. Everything I can get my hands on because it's such a funky case. But there's a documentary coming out in February about it, or I think a movie or something like that. So I'm like, dang it, all this time wasted. We'll see how it's portrayed. But the interesting thing is there's so much misinformation out there and lies, and so it's hard to make the video because one person will say one thing, one person will say the other, and then I can't find facts on either one. So I'm just I guess I'll have just to like, I don't know. Like, so it's just making it difficult, but I'm real excited about it. And that'll be coming out. Hopefully I'll try to get it out, before February in the next month or so. But those are the next two videos I have working on. If you have any questions whatsoever about any projects, you can put them down below. If I don't know about it, I'll research it or whatever. But yeah, hit that little bell notification on my channel if you're interested in that sort of stuff, just because I will eventually be going live more and more. And I eventually want to do a 30-minute, 45-minute, every day, just touch base. Here's what I'm researching. Here's what projects I like, and here's what I'm gonna, and then, kind of be more at people's fingertips and stuff like that as well. So when the price pumps, which I think is going to happen in the next, by Q1 of next year, I think we'll end up passing that all-time high in the next couple weeks. I mean, and actually push through it, hopefully. Well, who knows? Here's my bull side of being in through this for the last 4 years, almost through a bear market. Is my hopes are in the next, we're at 19,000, we're over 19K right now. We've pushed this 19K price a couple of times, and if you're like a TA guy, if you do like technical analysis, we didn't hit 19,700, which was the all-time high, and then severely reject it down to 16, 15, 14,000, and then keep at those levels super low. We dipped down. It's, by the way, it kept at that $19,000 level for quite some time. In fact, let's go to the freaking mark. Let me just look at this. So now it got rejected, and then to 17K, went right back up. And it's just been kind of steadying. I mean, ever since, let's see, the 24th of November was the first time that it hit. So it's been a few weeks. It's been up there. A little over 3 weeks. It's been at that, it's been testing these $19,000 ranges, and it hasn't severely dropped and stayed away from it. So a lot of TA people, which I do watch TA videos, and I don't really know how much that, I understand in markets when there's a bunch of robots and stock, the stock market works a little differently when it comes to how many bots are being run by it, but Bitcoin is very much ran by the same type of bots and stuff like that for sure. But anyways, it's just anyone who does TA just says it's real important that this level hasn't been rejected yet. And so if you're into TA, then you would say that we're essentially we are building a key support level. And so eventually 20,000 is going to be our next big support level. So when we pump back up, but it hasn't been severely rejected. So the fact that it's building support level right now and keeping at this range for quite some time, meaning it's not just rejecting the all-time high, it's building support at the all-time high levels, which is very bullish. Again, if you're a TA person, right? It's hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to do TA with crypto, but Bitcoin is one of the ones that makes more sense, right? Probably the only one that would make sense. Maybe a couple others. I don't know. But anyways, so if we end up pushing past this, 19,000 level over the next, what is today? The 13th of December, right? So we have essentially 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks and 5 days until the end of the year. If we end up pushing through that 20K level by the end of the year, then that's what everyone is saying. Is the next few weeks we're going to push past it, and then Q1 of next year, that's when we're going to start pushing. Now, here's some reference points. Okay. Here. Okay. So, 2013 the price was at 1,100, and since then, it finally got up in 2017. So 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, all that time. Now there's a lot of crazy stuff that actually happened during that time as well. But still, the price of Bitcoin took a long time to finally get up to its all-time high. And then it finally, in 2017, if we zoom in a little more on 2017, there you go. When it started finally pushing that $1,000 level, which was around this time as well, the end of the year, beginning of the next year, all of a sudden, slowly throughout the next year, it increased to the 20,000 level at the end of the year. And so, I mean, if you even look at the volume level, it was killer when it finally broke its all-time high. And you can look at the same thing now. The volume was massive, and now the volume is kind of chilling out a little bit more, which is interesting, even though it's holding the all-time high level. And then it maintained that for like 6 months. So we hit that all-time high in the beginning of January, and then we were just at the all-time high, kind of testing it, and then finally pushed through at the end of the year. So a lot of people are comparing this to that last bull run, and they think quarter 1 is really where we're going to take off. But a lot of people are also saying maybe it might be quarter 2, quarter 3. I'm hoping quarter 1. I don't know what I'm hoping. It's really hard. Okay, so if I knew this was going to happen, then I would hope that it wouldn't take place until the end of next year. And it's because I just keep wanting to accumulate. If I knew for sure it was going to happen, not in like 3 or 4 years, right? If I knew it was going to happen, you know, it's nice to accumulate, right? And so I don't know what the next bull run is going to look like. If it's going to go to like $1 million, you know, $500,000 a coin, then wouldn't you want to get as much as you want now? Wouldn't you be willing to wait a year or two so you can put, you know, a few $100, a couple thousand, whatever that you can afford into it before it ends up taking that pump? So it's hard to know what you really want, but yeah, that's why I don't know if you're into crypto. That's what everyone says. This is like the new 2017, or 2016 is what they were saying, and it was because 2016 they started finally pumping up in volume near the end of the year, and then right at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, that's when we started testing all-time highs. And then for many months we were just at those all-time highs, which were only a few weeks testing the all-time highs right now, but still, if we don't dip below, you know, $17,000, and we keep at that pace, the longer that we keep above that range, the stronger that resistance level turns into a support level, and it'll be more difficult for the price to drop underneath that. So, and by the way, if you go back to 2013 as well, you know, when it went up to $1,000 the first time, it pumped up like crazy from the last bull run, right? So I don't know. So here's I guess my end thought, since I have more people on right now than I have a little bit ago. So if you're new into crypto, the safest bet would be to, this is even hard to even say, because you don't want to keep your money on an exchange. But if you're one of those people that like you want to point, click, done, you don't care, dude, then you're going to have to trust an exchange, because creating a wallet does take a little bit of effort and knowledge. You're going to have to learn how to do that. But that would be the best way, is creating a wallet. I would go to Trezor or Ledger and get a hardware wallet. Trezor. All right, one of these guys. Get it from the actual website. Don't get it from a third party. They can hack that. Ledger. Oops. Oh, yeah. Or like a Ledger wallet, or a, wait. What was, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. anyways, where's my other wallet? I have the box for it somewhere. I'm blanking on the name for the other wallet for some reason. Trezor. I just freaking said it. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Trezor, freak. No, that's Ledger and Trezor. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, that's weird. I thought I typed that in. It's showing a Ledger wallet. That's why I was like, what? Okay, so Ledger is one of them. It's like, it looks like a little thumb drive. It's not a thumb drive, but it looks like it. And then Trezor is the other one. So these are the two hardware wallets I would recommend buying. And then they have most of the coins that you can use. And the only other coins that you would really use that you wouldn't need on this would be on like Uniswap. So then MetaMask. MetaMask.io. So if you get, like a Trezor wallet, it might cost like $100, $90. No, I don't want the wallet. I want to buy the wallet. Anyways, they're like 80, 90 bucks, $100, something like that. If you get one of these right here, and then MetaMask is the other wallet that I use. And this wallet, by the way, I have it on a phone, and the phone is offline. The phone is an iPhone. The phone it doesn't have a SIM card in it. The phone, I'm so like paranoid with getting hacked after that took place. So, yeah, it might be worth it to go to freaking, your mobile store or whatever, or go on KSL, or I don't know, KSL, like you guys live in the area I'm in, eBay or something like that, or Craigslist, and look for like an old iPhone, and then just like use that, and then put do a flash on the whole thing, and then just use that as your wallet, put it in your safe or whatever. And then, make sure you save your passwords and everything like that. But I only connect to the internet when I make my transactions, and I hop off. And then there's another app I use called Zerion. Sorry, I'm telling you guys all these weird things. Let me just double check. That's what it's called. Yeah, Zerion. So there's an app that because I don't have access. For example, if someone broke into my apartment right now, it's like, give me all your money. I know you have a MetaMask. I saw you on live stream. I don't have the ability to give them that, right? But I do track it because I don't have anything here. And in fact, my long-term holds, I don't even have the ability to be emotional about it, which has been beneficial. I actually trade for somebody else, and I do it non-emotional, super responsible. And they've actually... anyways, they've turned a profit better than I have on one of them, that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with like DOT and Kusama and like the ones the low market cap coins I really believed in, as opposed to the ones that I'm like, I'm gonna gamble, right? Which I'll never talk about those coins with you guys. Sorry, I'm just not. On Twitter I will probably, but yeah, those coins I'm just gambling on. I'm not gonna talk about them, right? Because a lot of those, it's like, all right, I just made $1,200, so I'm gonna throw 300, 300, 300, 300. I just need one of those projects to do really well, right? And maybe I lost money, did a 6x, boom, pretty much only made my money back. All right, let's do it again. All right, only made half my money back, lost mostly that time. All right, let's do it again, right? So, but yeah, yeah, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Chainlink, DOT, Kusama, Ocean Protocol, right? Stick with the a little bit more responsible ones, I guess you could say. But anyways, Zerion is what I use. Zerion. It's an app. It's not a website. Oh, but it looks like they do have a website. Anyways, they have an app that I use, and it just tracks your wallet, so you can see what happens in your wallet. So it'll tell you how much money you've made in your coins and stuff. So I use the MetaMask wallet, and then I track it with this, and that way I always know what's in it, even though I don't have access to it. So those are kind of the tools that I use, I guess. when buying these. But of those two things, the Trezor wallet and the MetaMask wallet, you should be able to buy pretty much every single coin out there. Or hold every single coin out there, I mean, in a safe wallet, right? As opposed to leaving it on an exchange. But if you're you don't want to deal with any of that, you just want to you could go to PayPal, and even me, there's exchanges I have a little bit of money in a few exchanges because I want to be able to make a quick trade, or I have $150 that's in one of my wallets that I only use because I use that money for fees, because the fees are freaking dumb with Ethereum. And I'm it should hold me off for a year. I don't know. Or maybe a day if it's in high transaction day of Ethereum. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, crypto.com has a cool app, a website. You can't use it, but the app you can use, they'll hold your money. Binance.us is another one. The one I would use, I guess, is Coinbase. Not Coinbase, Coinbase Pro. So it needs to look like this. Yeah, I just pulled up my wallet, whatever. You shouldn't have done that. Anyways, as you saw in it, though, I don't know if it saw it pulled up. I had $8 in it. I don't keep money in an exchange. Sometimes I have a few bucks left over. But I like Coinbase Pro just because if you were to keep money in an exchange, that would be the safest one. But again, don't trust any exchange, right? So Coinbase Pro probably, and then the Winklevoss twins, right? Have that Kragen, right? Wait, Kragen? Wait, Kragen? Oh my gosh, I'm having a blank. Winklevoss twins crypto exchange. Gemini. There we go. Duh. So they have Gemini. That might be an exchange that you might trust. They try to regulate themselves pretty heavily to be in compliance with the United States. So I wouldn't keep any money on an exchange, but for example, my father would never buy a ledger. He would never do the Trezor wallet, the MetaMask.io. He wouldn't do any of that. And he would barely even know how to get on an exchange and be able to do the KYC. So if you're that type of person, I would just go to Gemini, crypto.com, something like that. And Coinbase Pro, that's the one I'd actually probably use, Coinbase Pro. And the reason why Coinbase Pro is because I'm pretty sure they're allowing banks to hold their to insure their offline wallets. So your money is secure with a lot of these exchanges, but they're mostly only talking about the money they keep on the exchange, which is very little. But they have a what they call a hot wallet and a cold wallet. They have a cold wallet which essentially sits. Most of their money is normally on that. That money is normally not insured. Well, Coinbase Pro, I think, is getting banks to insure that money, because now they have the ability to. So they might be the safest ones. I'm assuming Gemini is the same way. I don't know why I don't use Gemini, but I don't. I guess I do. I'm sure I have $20 in there or something, right? But once you get into crypto, and again, I've been hacked, so I don't leave any money on any exchange. I pretty much just use it for a trade and then pull it out and then put it in a wallet, and then and then every year or something, I'm all right, I'm changing all of my passwords, I'm changing all of my emails, I'm moving all my money to new hardware wallets. But you don't have to be that paranoid. I do a lot of funky stuff when it comes to a lot of crypto stuff. So if you just hop in, make an exchange, you can buy it through one of these, and it'll be secure. So if you're one of those people that just want to throw it in, you don't want to talk, you don't want to learn all this stuff, that's probably what I do. But anyways, that is it. I actually am going to make sure I move over. Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna look that up later. So, I'm assuming there's no questions. I'm just gonna end the stream right here. Yeah, look out for those other 2 videos coming out, and I'll see you guys next week. But